People of Burkina Faso, our ancestors forged iron with wisdom and fire, building our strength from the earth. Today, we ignite a steel revolution from the historic furnaces of Dorula to new factories like Metal Mohun, well crafting a future of industry and pride. Our steel will build homes, roads, and dreams. Together, let us shape a sovereign, prosperous Burkina Faso.
Welcome to Afric Vibe News, your go-to source for bold, authentic African stories. We bring you the truth behind the headlines, straight from the continent's heart. Disclaimer: content shared here is for informational purposes only and not intended as financial, legal, or political advice. Always do your own research. From ancient iron smelting to modern steel production, Burkina Faso is forging a new industrial future. UNESCO recognized sites like Dorula showcase the country's rich metallurgy history, while new factories like Metal and advanced tube mills signal a growing steel sector. With rising exports and untapped mineral wealth, could Burkina Faso become West Africa's next industrial hub? Stay tuned for more.
In the heart of Africa, there is a country that is quietly making a name for itself in the global steel industry. You might not have heard of it, but the statistics are impressive. In just a few years, the production of crude steel has increased by more than 300%, and Burkina Faso is becoming one of the most important suppliers of iron ore in Africa. So what is the secret behind this success? What makes Burkina Faso stand out in the world of steel? However, the end of the 20th century saw a revival of interest in Burkina Faso's rich iron heritage. Contemporary artists and artisans drew inspiration from traditional techniques, incorporating them into modern works of art. The country's steel industry has been growing rapidly in recent years, driven by both domestic demand and increasing exports to neighboring countries. This growth is mainly due to the availability of raw materials, particularly iron ore, as well as a stable political climate and supportive government policies. Additionally, the influx of foreign investment has played a significant role in modernizing production facilities and expanding the industry's capacity. This initiative marked the beginning of the country's foray into steel production. Initially, Sidam operated with a small blast furnace with a limited annual production capacity of 12,000 tons of pig iron. This modest start was the first step in what would later become a thriving steel industry. As a result, Burkina Faso has become a key player in the sub-region's steel market, supplying essential materials for construction, infrastructure development, and industrial expansion. Sankara, who was known for his revolutionary policies and commitment to national development, placed great emphasis on industrialization. Nevertheless, the foundations laid during the 1970s and 1980s proved solid enough to withstand the turbulent years that followed. This sector has become one of the mainstays of the economy, providing jobs, generating income, and contributing to national development. Under his leadership, a second steel plant, Simla, was built in 1986. The iron and steel production process requires a large workforce, from mining and processing raw materials to manufacturing and distributing finished products. The export of steel products generates foreign currency that can be used to finance imports and stimulate other sectors of the economy. Additionally, the revenue generated by the steel industry contributes to government coffers, enabling it to finance public projects and social services. This financial contribution is vital for a country that still faces many development challenges. Its contribution to job creation, revenue generation, and the stimulation of other sectors is undeniable. If you did, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Also, if you haven't already, we invite you to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our amazing videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. As the industry continues to grow, it is essential to address the associated challenges and ensure sustainable development. With sound policies and responsible management, Burkina Faso can harness the potential of its steel sector to drive its economy forward and improve the lives of its citizens. The government recognizes its importance and is working to support and develop this vital sector. Policies aimed at attracting investment, promoting local content, and ensuring good governance are essential for the continued growth of the steel industry. This has led to the creation of thousands of direct jobs in Burkina Faso, with more jobs indirectly generated in related sectors. It provides inputs for construction, manufacturing, and other industries that use steel products. This stimulates economic activity and contributes to the growth of related sectors. The industry's backward and forward linkages have a multiplier effect on the economy as a whole. These jobs are crucial for poverty reduction, especially in a country where unemployment is a major challenge. This new facility had a much greater production capacity, allowing for the manufacture of a wider range of steel products. The industry's success is a testament to the country's potential and its commitment to industrialization, despite the challenges it faces. Furthermore, the government has taken steps to protect and promote traditional metalworking techniques. Mining and steel production can have negative environmental impacts if not properly managed. Pollution, deforestation, and the use of natural resources raise concerns about sustainability. It's crucial for Burkina Faso to strike a balance between economic development and environmental protection. To answer this question, we must look back at the country's colonial past and the efforts of visionary leaders who laid the foundations for the modern steel industry. This recovery was partly due to the privatization of Sedime and Sameila in 1996. The new private owners invested heavily in modernizing the plants, increasing productivity, and improving product quality. However, it was during the post-independence period that the country's steel industry began to take shape. The two main companies, Sedime and Sameila, account for a significant portion of the country's industrial output. They provide essential steel products for various sectors such as construction, mining, and manufacturing. The industry also provides direct and indirect employment to thousands of people, contributing to poverty reduction and national development. The first steps towards establishing a national steel company date back to the 1970s, when the government launched a policy of import substitution. This policy aimed to reduce dependence on imports by developing local industries. One of the sectors targeted was steel, which was seen as a strategic industry for economic development. By preserving this cultural legacy, Burkina Faso ensures that its unique place in the history of iron continues to be recognized and appreciated. Join us as we take you on a journey to discover the hidden potential of this African nation and traditions of the Zama people, provide invaluable insights into the importance of iron in their culture. Preserving these narratives is essential for understanding the deep cultural significance of iron in Burkina Faso and the fascinating story of how it is writing its own future in iron and steel. But before we dive into the heart of the matter, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up. Your gesture will help us continue to create quality content that sheds light on important topics from around the world. So don't forget to click that like button and stay updated with our latest videos. Back to the subject at hand. The origins of iron smelting in Burkina Faso can be traced back to the 7th century BC. Archaeologists discovered ancient furnaces and tools in several regions, evidence of an advanced metallurgical tradition developed by indigenous communities. These early furnaces were small, typically fueled by charcoal and operated by hand bellows. Despite their modest size, they were capable of producing high-quality iron for tools and weapons. This ancient know-how was passed down from generation to generation, laying the foundation for a rich metalworking heritage. During the 16th and 17th centuries, iron production reached its peak with the emergence of large-scale mining centers. Some sources estimate that during this period, the Zama may have produced between 15 and 20 tons of iron per year, which was widely traded throughout the region. During the pre-colonial era, iron played a significant role in the social and economic organization of the Zama society. Skilled iron workers enjoyed a privileged status and were often associated with secret societies or brotherhoods. Iron production was not only a means of trade, but also a symbol of wealth and power. Each piece of iron represented not only physical strength, but also spiritual power and connection to ancestors. Colonial rule disrupted traditional production methods, and the demand for iron declined. As we move on to the next chapter of our journey, it is important to note that the oral history today, Burkina Faso is experiencing a true revolution in the steel sector. But how did this small African country go from obscurity to becoming a major player in the global steel industry? During the colonial era, Burkina Faso, then known as Upper Volta, was primarily known for its agricultural production and its supply of raw materials such as gold and manganese. In 1974, the National Company for Iron and Steel of Upper Volta, SEDIME, was created with the aim of producing basic steel products. However, it was until the arrival of Captain Thomas Sankara in 1983 that the country saw a significant boost in its steel sector. Unfortunately, the progress achieved was cut short by the 1987 coup d'etat that led to Sankara's death and the subsequent political instability. In the late 1990s, with the return to democracy and economic liberalization, the steel industry began to recover and grow steadily. Today, the steel industry plays a crucial role in Burkina Faso's economy. In addition to meeting domestic demand, Burkina Faso's steel industry now exports its products to neighboring countries, further expanding its reach and impact. The growth of the steel industry in Burkina Faso has had a significant impact on the country's economy. One of the main impacts of the steel industry is the creation of jobs. Another significant impact is the contribution of the steel industry to the generation of income and foreign exchange. Moreover, the steel industry has a ripple effect on other sectors of the economy. However, it's essential to acknowledge the challenges associated with the steel industry. Despite these challenges, the steel industry remains a key driver of Burkina Faso's economic growth. In conclusion, the steel industry has emerged as a crucial pillar of Burkina Faso's economy. And that's all for today. We hope you found this video informative and enjoyable.